In this video, I want to talk about Agentic AI and MCP. Everybody's talking about MCP, and for me, it took quite a while to understand what MCP actually is all about and how it works. And I couldn't see the potential until maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And since then, it blew my mind. So I prepared this video about Agentic AI and MCP so that you also get, that spark and you see the potential and what it's all about. So let's start. So what is Agentic AI and MCP? Well, basically, it's agents that will help you solve tasks. So let's come up with a hypothetical task. Please create me a marketing plan. So this is nothing revolutionary. So what you would assume is you go to ChatGPT or Claude or whatever LLM provider, you write the prompt, please help me write the marketing plan, and you will get an answer. The problem with that is there is still the human that after the written document is done, a human needs to take over and basically process that information further down. That's nothing bad. This is what we did the last 2 years all the time. It gives a lot of productivity improvements. However, it would be actually cool if this human is another agent maybe taking over. So let's expand this example a little bit. So we have first the marketing plan, write in a prompt in the same ChatGPT thread. We could say, okay, now please critique the marketing plan and tell me what I could do better. And then again, you can say, okay, now please improve it with another prompt, and then you get an answer. And then finally, a human can take over and has a much improved marketing plan, obviously. So also, this is nothing revolutionary. This is what we've done with a little bit more experience, prompting, and basically use the LLMs in a very productive way. But now Agentic AI does something just from a mindset point of view or from a perspective point of view. So Agentic AI basically says, okay, let's wrap every prompt, simplify it here, and say, okay, I have now an agent that writes me marketing plans, or I have an agent that reviews my marketing plan, or I have the marketing writer agent that can improve it based on that feedback. So basically, we built these little borders and encapsulate a prompt or a tool. I will come back to that in a second. So that is basically an independent agent with a certain capability. And now the big question is, how can we basically organize that? So until recently, we have ChatGPT. Obviously, we can give a lot of context in the prompt. So behave like that or behave like that. But it was quite hard to basically combine very different capabilities and that's in a very generic way. So, but how cool would it be that when we say create a marketing plan and execute it, so not only writing, but actually executing. For example, okay, write me the marketing plan, create a target group analysis, what are their pain points, how our solution could benefit them, define the main call to actions, then actually build a website, then actually build social media posts to promote that landing page, website, etc. So actually execute it, going out to other platforms and basically do something there. And this is exactly where MCP comes in. That will, I think, change a lot how we do work and also how we integrate third-party tools around LLMs and basically how we put everything together. So think about this scenario. Again, I want to create a marketing plan, but also execute the work. So again, I still have the marketing plan writer, I have the reviewer, I have the social media manager agent, which has access to LinkedIn, let's say. And then we have the Drupal Node Hive content manager, which has access to the to the Drupal site through MCP. So yes, now write me a marketing plan and create also a microsite. So we have kind of a project manager, you could say it like that. Then this will call the marketing plan writer, and then based on that, the Drupal Node Hive content manager will actually use the MCP protocol to access the Drupal website, and then basically create the pages, the menu items, basically the website. So you think, wow, that's pretty crazy. How does that work technically? So for that, I quickly change the tab and I go to the official model context protocol.io website, which is the official island where the MCP protocol is described. And I quickly go through the introduction because it's very worthwhile to understand what the MCP protocol is. And then we can go back and see how that fits together on a higher level. Okay, so introduction to MCP, get started with the Model Context Protocol, MCP. MCP is an open protocol that standardizes how applications provide context to LLMs. Think of MCP like a USB-C port for AI application. Just as USB-C provides a standardized way to connect your devices to various peripherals and accessories, MCP provides a standardized way to connect AI models to different data sources and tools. So, the problem or the analogy is kind of interesting, but from a conceptual part of view, it's correct. So there needs to be some kind of cable between the LLM and, in our case, for example, Drupal or LinkedIn. And this protocol needs to be standardized so that we don't have to implement actually the API, so that the LLM can automatically explore the MCP server's capabilities. And as the introduction here, the first part says, it's access AI models to access different data sources and tools. And data sources are simply give me the content on a given website, or for example, for the LinkedIn MCP server, it could be how many connections I have. So it's like access to data and just basically read data from the server, basically. Whereas tools are really stuff the LLM can actually change on the server itself. So in our example, it could be in the Drupal Node Hive MCP server is creating a page. So it's not only show me how many pages you have and what is the content of that pages, but also actually create new pages. So basically change and update and do something with a tool. So these are the two main features of an MCP server. Get data and do something and change something on that third-party tool. All right, so why MCP? MCP helps you build agents and complex workflows on top of LLMs. LLMs frequently need to integrate with data and tools, and MCP provides a growing list of pre-built integrations that your LLM can directly plug into, the flexibility to switch between LLM providers and vendors, best practices for securing your data with your infrastructure. So a general architecture overview. At its core, MCP follows a client-server architecture where a host application can connect to multiple servers. So think this as your ChatGPT interface, or also Claude desktop, for example. And here you define MCP connectors, you could call it like that. So for example, you have an MCP connector to LinkedIn. LinkedIn has its own database, but LinkedIn also offers kind of a server. And now, because there is the MCP protocol in between, the ChatGPT knows what data sources the server provides, as well as what tools it provides. So potentially, there is a tool to say, post to my feed. And so the LLM knows exactly how it needs to prepare the data to call that function or that tool to actually create a post, which then internally in LinkedIn to saves it to whatever database. So it's like a generic interface. The LLM can explore the capabilities of that server and then basically, do something and read something. Just following our example. So let's assume this is our Drupal site. And again, I can say then here in ChatGPT, hey, I want to create this page. And then it will connect to the Drupal MCP server, which has a tool that says, create a new page. And so basically the LLM understands, okay, I need to send this structured content in this way. And then the server itself can generate that data and actually save notes on behalf of me through the LLM. And not only that, it's interesting that you can cascade basically MCP servers. So it can be that there is an MCP server between a remote service or multiple remote service basically, which abstracts away its capabilities into one MCP server, which then can integrate it into an LLM. Yeah, so this is MCP. It's maybe a little bit technical, but I think we are web developers, digital strategists. We know these things. And MCP Protocol, if I remind correct, was invented by Anthropic last autumn. I think it was October, November, it was published. It's now adopted by the big AI players like OpenAI, Google, etc., etc. And just recently, ChatGPT actually introduced the connectors, the MCP server connectors to its web UI. And I quickly demo that. So if you go to your ChatGPT UI, then you go to settings. So my page here is German, make that a little bit bigger. You have these connectors. And here now, and this is very, very fresh, it's now available that you can add multiple connectors, predefined connectors provided by OpenAI itself, but it's also possible to create your own custom MCP client connector. So when you have an MCP server, for example, for your Drupal site or for your Node Hive infrastructure, here you go. So it's there. And I think this will change and disrupt a lot how we're going to work in the future. And I want to go back to the presentation and show you what I'm talking about. Just to finalize that little presentation. So agents are basically in agentic AI in the concept of MCP are nothing else than prompts plus tools and basically the MCP protocol to access the endpoints. And agentic AI are basically self-orchestrated agents. But yeah, so how could that be used in the future? And yeah, it took me quite a while to actually understand the impact of that and the potential. And so think about this. See, you have a chat interface, and this is a screenshot of Claude desktop, but it can also be ChatGPT and a potential new UI that is not yet there. But you can use that and basically say, hey, check my Outlook email for client requests. And then please look up Salesforce if that contact already exists. If it already exists, please give me the context. Then write me a draft in Outlook and with an answer. And by the way, look up my Drupal site to see if I have any relevant marketing information and give me these links, including a short description, what the link is all about, and add me to that draft. And then please inform me through Teams or Slack that it's available for review. So you see where this is going. Through one UI, you have access through the MCP protocol to multiple pages. You can build very, very intelligent solutions, even workflows, all controlled by the LLM UI. And yeah, you can basically extend the capabilities with MCP servers to the extreme. This is just one example. just let's make up another one, a simpler one. So on Dropbox, I have some drafts of a marketing campaign, or I have a concept. So I say to the LLM, please look up this document. Now go on my website, create the microsite of it with these contents, and then also create a newsletter campaign, which basically showcases this new microsite and basically launches what I want to communicate with this new marketing campaign. All driven by the chat UI, and everything is self-organized in the back because the LLM knows the capabilities of the MCP servers around and can self-organize and basically fix what needs to be done. And the interesting part is, since this is a simple chat UI, it can be used on mobile very easily. It can be used through voice. So basically you can just talk to it and then it will do it for you. As well as it's async. So basically you can say, do that now. You put away your phone or you go away from your desktop. It will do its job in the back. It might take 5 minutes. It might take 2 hours. In the future, maybe multiple days to create something. From time to time, you can check in, see how the progress is. Maybe nudge it a little bit to the right direction, or maybe it will wait for some confirmation to do something. I think this will be the future model of how we're going to work. So from a strategic point, as a digital strategist, it's super important that we understand how MCP works, how we can build this new basically infrastructure. And I'm very excited about that. So this was it for this video. I will do another video where I make a very concrete example using the Node Hive MCP server. So basically how I create, based on a prompt, a marketing plan with a project manager, then actually write the plan and then basically build the microsite all within one UI. And then in the end, I will get an URL, I can click on it, and then I have a fully functional microsite, including editing capabilities, as well as all the feature that my front-end application provides me. Yes, stay tuned, and if you like content like that, if you're a web developer, digital strategist, work in the web industry, this YouTube channel is exactly for you. And you might consider subscribing this channel, and until then, see you in the next one.